Ivy with it. Now Golden State's starting 5. They've got Robinson. MB out there with Pajemski. Then there's Jarris Walker. And it's Coles in at the 3 spot. So, Craig, when you're in the first game of a back-to-back, how much focus slips into already looking towards the second game?
Well, from a player's perspective, not much. But from the view of a coach, it has to creep in some in terms of making sure you don't overplay your star.
And here's MP for 3. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And that shows the skill level of MP. The pull-up is a tough shot to master.
Alston against Ivy. Over in the corner, Avdia. There's a screen by Kamara. Just 5 to shoot. Ivy, no one around him. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Here's MP, and the dunk by MP.
And this is right around the time when one team might start to pull away.
And one thing about this league we know, momentum can change in an instant.
Trailblazers have gone 0-3 from the field to start the game. Here's Ivy.
The Trailblazers have gone 0 for 3 from the floor to begin this one. And so in the game for the Warriors, we've got Walker. MP is out there with Brandon Pajemski. Then there's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Coles in at small forward. Pajemski's shot is good.
5 straight buckets to start the game. Off to a hot start.
And so timeout called by Chauncey Billups here. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over.
Give a big round of applause for your Blazers Breaker Dance Team.
Since we have a chance, let's see the player of the week for the Western Conference, MP.
Oh, it's been so much fun to watch him on the offensive end recently. He's really his team's engine on that end of the floor, sparking plays and helping them find open shots and big points.
Thanks to AT&T for that fantastic look from their connected cam. Portland has gone 0 for 2 from outside. 3-pointer sharp. Portland again missing.
Just brutal. I mean, 5 straight misses to begin the game. The officials were right on top of that one.
All right, a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
So far, they've shown a terrific work ethic in transition, pushing the pace whenever possible and getting out ahead of the defense to score.
And something else I've noticed is how they've been able to cause turnovers and take advantage of them on the offensive end, not wasting those extra chances at all.
That one misses. And that trip coming up empty, missing both. Now the Blazers moving it up.
16,000 square, 8 million up there, 2 million down here.
Stan, when you have these back-to-back games, it must force you to alter your approach a little.
Well, Kevin, you got to manage minutes more carefully to not burn guys out. But really, if you can get the first one, it takes a little pressure off the back end.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. We've got Brandon Pajemski. Jarris Walker out there with Mitchell Robinson. Then it's MP. And it's Coles in at the small forward.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
Yeah, but you can't let up at all. They've got a chance to put this game away early, and they should take it.
Good ball movement here.
Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it?
And in the first quarter, about 3 minutes played. And Tim, the Blazers front office aggressively seeking wing depth.
Yeah, and in Denny Avdia and Toumani Camara, they've got some ringers. They are still young and tremendously talented. They might be set at the forward spot for a decade.
On the floor for the Warriors, Jarris Walker out there with Mitchell Robinson. Then it's MP, then there's Brandon Pajemski, and it's Coles in at the small forward position. Outside Sharp, pass to Klingon. Oh, and he brings it down with a two-handed jam.
And that ends their drought. You can feel the frustration building with each miss.
Well, you need to have a short-term memory. You can't worry about the shots that didn't go in.
Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
Well, it's just an outstanding effort thus far. They've done a great job at both ends.
Down low.
Here's Sharp. He had 25 points last game. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. Mitchell Robinson out there with Walker. Then it's MP. Then there's Brandon Pajemski. And it's Coles in at the three. RJ, the front end of a back-to-back. As a player, it's got to pose an additional challenge physically to get through these stretches.
Oh, yeah, it's a grind. This is a physical sport we play. In your body, it just has to be ready when you start the season.
Now, here's Ivy. No scoring in this one. Playing the screen for Sharp. Shot clock at 5 to the wing right side. Here's Avdia. That three off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. MP finds Robinson. The shot's good. Alston making the play. Alston's got his 4th assist in this one. Now, Ivy. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been...
Oh, wow!
That is powerful.
That's a young, creative mind right there. Hitting P, doing work.
What a great look here at this tremendous move from our AT&T Connected Cam point of view. So for the Trailblazers, their last game lost to the Rockets. Three-pointer. The shot by Ivy, no good.
He's just basically a body out there right now, nothing else. The team is struggling, and he hasn't been able to help them out at all.
Now, here's MT. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. Golden State moving it around. Connects from three-point range. Pajemski's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Warriors. Pajemski's gone 2 of 2 from three-point land tonight. And so Chauncey Billups decides to call timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two.
Time to get live for your Blazers Answer.
Take a moment to honor the Western Conference Player of the Week, MP.
And the way that he has been able to kind of create something out of nothing for his teammates has been remarkable. Fantastic and timely passing combined with his vision is something that all players should aspire to have.
Now, here's Avdia. Still scoreless.
represent Christ? No, you represent drugs, you represent party, you represent strippers, you represent prostitution, and you represent victims. Go ahead.
Outside Kamara, back to Klingon. Portland moving it around. Klingon with a screen to the inside. Can they get it?
Oh,
and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Precise delivery on the pass. Led him perfect. Whoa!
Oh, sweet move. Okay, young man. We see you, MP. We know you for real.
How about that elevated look on the AT&T connected cam? Here's Kamara. No points yet. Ivy finds Avdia. Now here's Sharp.
When your team is looking at a back-to-back, how do you approach the first game of the 2-10?
Well, I think you may go to your bench a little.
Hold on. Hold on. The Antichrist emerge. Wait, I don't what you talk in the church.
On the floor for the Warriors. Brandon Pajemski out there with MP. Then there's Jarris Walker. Then there's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Coles in at the 3, a small forward. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Well, MP in their last time out against the Hornets just played phenomenal. He dropped an amazing number of points, and he really stuffed that stat sheet for them, ending up with a triple-double. His numbers from that game jumped off the stat sheet. He was just superb. Guys, let's see if he can do it again.
Oh,
I just read it, I ain't write it. See, you cannot control him on the face and everybody. Everybody tell him on the world don't like it. You would try to got it, take the space and see his records.
on offense, here are the Trailblazers. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule. They lost to the Rockets.
In this league, you have to stay active at both ends of the floor. I thought their lackluster defense was the difference in the game.
Yeah, poor communication at the defensive end. Many of the rotations were late.
So on the floor for Golden State, they've got MP. Mitchell Robinson is out there with Jarris Walker. Then there's Brandon Pajemski, and it's Coles in at the 3, a small forward. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Well, MP in the last matchup against Charlotte just played phenomenal. He dropped an amazing number of points and put up double digits in 3 categories. That night will be etched in people.
Get it. You don't want to push your fans. Up here now, run the kingdom of God is a hand. Supposed to get your old self and become new. So why you still acting like the same you? Every change the words supposed to change you. I wasn't not a word of God, like I was change you. The same problem that you was in the
And Robinson comes to help. And Portland with the ball. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one. Setting the floor for the Warriors, we've got Brandon Pajemski. Mitchell Robinson out there with Jarris Walker.
The same way that you was giving them to the world, thinking that you gave them love. True love is one in them of sin, ain't no in between. Better read the sink in your 3-18 through 19. Blood on your hands, thinking you made the right thing. The wild path is more towards than the white sea.
Now Portland with it. First chance of the year for them to go up against this Warriors team. So on the floor for Golden State, we've got Walker. MP is out there with Brandon Pajemski. Then there's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Coles in at the 3 spot. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Well, MP in the last matchup against Charlotte just played phenomenal. He had an unbelievable amount of points, and he registered a triple-double, showing off all of his skills. A reminder of the amazing things that he's capable of on any given night. It'll be hard to match that tonight, but he'll try. Guys?
Okay, Allie, thanks. It really was some night for him. He couldn't have been much better, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., there was nothing they could do to contain him. Once he got rolling, it was game on.
Well, he did whatever he wanted. I love the fact that he was under control, yet very aggressive.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
And one thing's for sure, Tim. Shaedon Sharpe, one of the most electrifying athletes in the NBA.
Yeah, B.A., he is a highlight reel every single night with plenty of runway left in front of him. I am curious to see.
What you say, I'm not doing God's will. Don't work for me, but you friends with the world still. Preaching the word is why I never did a deal. And if it's take away from my spins, but you never take away from my ends. And I hope I bring someone out of sin. I know I said it loud, but I'ma say it again.
Ivy with it. Nothing on the board. Setting the floor for the Warriors. They've got Anthony Black. Mitchell Robinson out there with MP. And it's Pumpkin in at the 2 guard. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Hornets was outstanding. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and that's not to mention the fact that by the end of the night, he had a triple-double. He was a force of nature in that game. He made the opposition look utterly helpless.
Great stuff as always, Allie. Thank you. Greg, it was obvious. He was having a lot of fun out there. Tremendous victory.
I'll tell you, he may have been enjoying himself, but whoever was matched up against him certainly wasn't.
Yeah, well, winning is usually fun, especially when you have it going like he did.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Tari Eason comes in for Avdia, and Woodson subbed in for Toumani Camara. The Warriors also with a sub. Gordon's checked in for Robinson. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Warriors?
Well, they've set the tone early with their pace. So important to capitalize on transition opportunities, and it keeps the defense off balance.
And another thing, guys, they've been very active tonight, frequently creating scoring opportunities off turnovers.
And both free throws good for MP.
Well, when you watch MP, you can see the burst he has on the floor. Very explosive young player.
Here's Woodson. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Asta Klingon launches a three. Alston with the rebound. And here's MP. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. And this is a team making history with every single win. They're coming into this game with 30 consecutive victories. That's right, 30.
Look, you're talking about...
One best with the West, but you're so meant to him. Some of the kids on the double can't get to him. Trying to walk when you move the work, stick to him. I know some will be offended, but it's what they need. They trying to be a boss, you ain't bringing them no seat.
And here's Ivy, still without a bucket. So on the floor for Golden State, they've got MP, Anthony Black out there with Aaron Gordon. And it's Buffkin in at the shooting guard position.
We ain't run off on the circles, beware. You wanna suck a third, what the difference is. You ain't done anything, not a feminist. Now I break the fucking real like a Tennessee. Proverbs, 21, 1:26. Only yes, what you been doing. Going best with your words, but you submit to them. School your kids on the devil can't get to them. Train them up and you hold the word, stick to them. 27 girls, what the difference is. Girl, you feminine, not a feminist.
Smooth sailing for Golden State. And this is a team making history with every single win. They're coming into this game with 30 consecutive victories. That's right, 30.
Yeah, look, I've been on some teams that had some great runs. It is so hard because you have to be talented. You've got to be 100% bought in, but then you also need some luck. 50-50 balls bouncing your way. They're getting all of that and then some.
Full 24-second shot clock. 1:52 left now in the first quarter. Stolen by MP. On the floor for the Warriors. They've got Anthony Black. MP is out there with Aaron Gordon. And it's Buffkin in at the 2 spot.
Yeah, this defense looks absolutely helpless trying to stop MP right now. He's having his way out there.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against Charlotte just played phenomenal. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he registered a triple-double, showing off all of his skills. And really, it's a game that will stand out when you look at his career, considering how absurd some of those numbers are. Guys?
All right, Allie, thanks for the update. Impressive ability to carry his team to victory, Grant.
Yeah, BA, I was really impressed. They wouldn't have won the game if it wasn't for...
And it's the Trailblazers with the ball. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one. Setting the floor for the Warriors. You've got Gordon. Anthony Black is out there with MP. And it's Buffkin in at the 2. Now, here's Ivy. This scoring...
The world is yours.
1:07 left in the first quarter of the game. And so in the game for the Warriors, they've got Aaron Gordon, Anthony Black out there with MP, and it's Buffkin in a 2 guard. Now here's Sharp. He had 25 points in his last game. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And here's Ivy from the arc. Trailblazers keep it alive. Pass to Sharp. Portland needs to get off a shot here. Up again. And 1:01 left in the first quarter here. On the floor for the Warriors. They've got Aaron Gordon, Anthony Black out there with MP, and it's Buffkin in at the 2. Clinging with a screen. To the middle.
There's a minute left here in the first quarter. So for the Golden State Warriors right now.
Full 24-second shot clock. 1 minute left to play in the first. The Trailblazers shooting just 25% from the field in the first quarter. So on the floor for Golden State, they've got MP, Anthony Black out there with Aaron Gordon. And it's Buffkin in at the 2. 5 on the clock. Here's Ivy. One minute left to play in the first. On the floor for the Warriors. They've got Anthony Black. MP is out there with Aaron Gordon. And it's Buffkin in at the 2 spot. Clinging with a screen. Outside Sharp. Pocket 6. Powered down with both hands.
Well, that's a part of Sharp's game that he takes very serious.
And here's MP from outside.